The Nevada sun does not simply rise, it erupts. A molten sphere of fire surges above the horizon, spilling golden light across an endless desert that seems to stretch into infinity. The ground shimmers as though it has been set ablaze, each grain of sand glowing beneath the relentless gaze of the heavens. The air itself bends and twists, rippling with mirages that taunt the thirsty eye, showing lakes where none exist and shadows where nothing moves. Wind sweeps across this barren expanse, lifting dust into swirling columns that dance like ghostly sentinels. Each gust whispers secrets, carrying with it the ancient voice of the desert, a voice that has spoken for millennia, long before fences and radars carved its silence. From the distant mountains, jagged teeth of stone rise skyward, their edges carved by time into sharp silhouettes, guardians of a realm few dare to enter. This is not a welcoming place. Temperatures soar past reason by day, baking the earth into cracked mosaics, only to plummet by night into a cold that gnaws through flesh and bone. To the untrained eye, it seems lifeless, a wasteland stripped of mercy, but the stillness deceives. From beneath the sand, a subtle movement, a flicker of scales glinting like polished bronze, slides silently through the dust. In the shadows of a desert shrub, two keen eyes glow, unblinking, waiting. High above, a speck cuts across the blinding sky, a hawk riding thermals invisible to human sight, its gaze scanning every ripple of the terrain below. Even here where survival seems impossible, life endures. It does more than endure, it thrives. This land, shrouded in secrecy and myth, is more than a restricted zone marked by barbed wire and warning signs. To the coyote whose haunting cries echo across the barren flats, these boundaries mean nothing. To the jackrabbit whose powerful legs propel it like a dart through dust and shadow, secrecy is irrelevant. To the rattlesnake, lying in perfect ambush beneath a layer of sand, silence is not government policy, it is survival. For generations, myths have cloaked this land in mystery. Whispers of hidden aircraft, alien visitors, strange lights that dance across the sky. But beneath these stories lies another truth, one far older, far wilder, and far less understood. Every grain of sand here hides a story. Every shadow harbors a struggle. Every sound, whether the rustle of a lizard's tail or the echo of a crow's call, is a reminder that life exists even in the harshest corners of the earth. And in this most secretive of landscapes, the wildlife is no less extraordinary than the legends that surround it. Here, at the intersection of myth and survival, we begin our journey. A journey into the unforgiving desert, into a realm where creatures adapt, fight, and flourish against odds that defy belief. Welcome to Area 51, not just a fortress of mystery, but a living ecosystem. In the desert, survival is never given. It is earned, fought for in every heartbeat, every breath, every step upon the burning sand. Here life is a contest of patience, stealth, and raw endurance. The silence of the desert is not emptiness, it is tension, stretched thin across every horizon. A jackrabbit grazes cautiously in the open, its long ears twitching like radar dishes, tuned to the slightest disturbance. Each nibble of dry grass is a risk. Each step away from cover is a gamble. For it knows that somewhere, hidden, watching, something waits. And it does. Low to the ground, a coyote stalks, its paws silent upon the sand. The desert wind masks its scent, carrying it away from its prey. Eyes fixed, body tense, it inches closer. Muscles coil, anticipation crackles in the air. Then, in an instant, the desert erupts. The jackrabbit bolts. Its hind legs launch it into a blur of motion, zigzagging across the cracked earth, kicking up dust as it races for its life. The coyote lunges, each stride closing the distance, jaws snapping just short of the fleeing rabbit's tail. But speed is the jackrabbit's only salvation. A final leap, a desperate dive into thorny brush, and the chase is lost. The coyote halts, panting, its eyes narrowing. Hunger will have to wait. Above, a shadow circles. The keen eyes of a red-tailed hawk have watched the drama unfold from hundreds of feet in the air. Where the coyote fails, the hawk may succeed. With a sudden tuck of wings, it dives, a spear of feathers slicing the sky. The target is not the rabbit, but a smaller creature scurrying in panic at the commotion, a kangaroo rat. The desert floor explodes in a cloud of dust as talons strike. When the dust clears, the rat is gone, carried skyward into silence. Elsewhere, a far more patient hunter lies in wait. Beneath a thin veil of sand, a rattlesnake rests motionless, heat-sensing pits locked onto the rhythm of life above it. A lizard, unaware of the death below, pauses near the snake's hidden coil, then lightning. The strike is too fast for the eye, too final for escape. Venom surges, and the desert claims another victim. Predators sharpen their skills against the speed, agility, and cunning of prey. Prey evolved senses, speed, and strategies to outwit their hunters. This eternal conflict fuels the desert, driving adaptations, shaping behaviors, and weaving resilience into the DNA of every creature that calls this land home. In Area 51, secrecy belongs not only to the skies, but to the hunt, the unseen struggles that unfold each day, hidden in plain sight beneath the desert sun. From above, the land around Area 51 resembles a vast canvas of muted colors, an endless expanse of ochre, gray, and bone-white tones, painted by wind and carved by time. It is a wilderness of extremes where the terrain shifts from one form to another with startling suddenness, each habitat holding its own secrets. At the heart of this desert lie the basins, wide sunken plains where heat gathers like a furnace. Cracked earth stretches endlessly, fractured into jagged mosaics that crunch beneath any wandering step. In these lowlands, mirages shimmer and dance, illusions born from blistering heat. Yet against all odds, life finds footholds even here. Small shrubs push through the dust, their roots clawing deep for water hidden far beneath. Between them, tiny insects skitter, and at night, these desolate flats come alive with movement, their silence broken by rustles, chirps, and the faint calls of creatures cloaked in darkness. Bordering the basins rise rocky outcrops, jagged formations of stone, standing like ancient fortresses against the wind. These cliffs and ridges offer shelter where little else does. Desert bighorn sheep climb their impossible slopes, hooves gripping narrow ledges with ease, finding both safety from predators and access to hidden vegetation. Lizards bask upon sun-warmed rocks, their scales glittering like shards of glass, while birds of prey perch above, scanning the ground for the slightest tremor of movement. Further still, the desert opens into salt flats, glimmering plains that shine blindingly beneath the sun, as though the land itself has turned to mirrors. These flats, born of vanished lakes, are harsh and barren to the eye. Yet when rain comes, shallow pools form briefly, attracting flocks of birds in sudden abundance before vanishing again into nothingness. The salt flats are landscapes of illusion, lifeless at first glance, yet vital when the season shifts. Among these extremes stretch scrublands, where creosote bushes dominate the view. Hardy and unyielding, their resin-scented leaves whisper resilience in every breeze. These thickets are havens for jackrabbits, kangaroo rats, and snakes, a network of cover and concealment where predator and prey play their eternal game. Here the desert feels most alive, buzzing with insects, rustling with hidden mammals, and echoing with the cries of birds darting between shrubs. And then in rare and hidden places, there is water. Springs bubble quietly from beneath rock, creating oases no larger than a clearing, yet powerful enough to alter the desert's fate. Around them gather willows, reeds, and grasses, forming pockets of green in a sea of dust. To every creature of the desert, these springs are lifelines, destinations sought in times of drought, sanctuaries where life converges in fragile harmony. This is the stage upon which every struggle unfolds, a land sculpted by fire, wind, and time, harsh yet breathtaking, empty yet full. It begins as a single note, long, wavering, haunting, then another joins, and another, until the silence of Area 51's wilderness fractures into a chorus. The howls of coyotes ripple across the scrublands, a language as old as the desert itself. To some, it sounds like mourning. To others, a call of triumph. But to the coyote, it is simply life, communication, territory, and family. Coyotes are the tricksters of this land, masters of survival who bend the rules of the desert to their advantage. They are neither loners nor strictly pack animals, choosing instead a fluid social life that shifts with opportunity. A coyote may hunt alone one night, stalking a rabbit through the brush, and the next night run with its kin, coordinating in silence before striking together with ruthless efficiency. In the moonlight, two shadows slink low across the terrain. Their movements are calculated, deliberate, every paw placed with care. Ahead, a family of kangaroo rats darts between shrubs, scattering seeds into the dust. The coyotes pause, waiting, bodies pressed against the ground. Then, as if answering a silent signal, they surge forward. One drives the prey into confusion, scattering it, while the other intercepts, jaws flashing in the dark. For the coyotes, strategy is instinct. For the kangaroo rat, escape is everything. Sometimes the desert sides with the hunter. Other times, the hunt slips away. Yet coyotes do not rely solely on the hunt. They're opportunists, scavengers, and improvisers. A carcass left behind by a hawk, scraps dropped by ravens, or even insects unearthed from the sand, all become a feast for the adaptable coyote. In lean times, they will dig for roots, nibble cactus fruits, or steal from human settlements skirting the edges of restricted land. This versatility is the very key to their endurance. But it is in their voices that coyotes reveal their greatest mystery. To stand in the desert night as their howls rise is to witness the spirit of the wilderness made sound. The calls travel miles across the flats, weaving through canyons and echoing off stone walls. Each howl carries meaning, warnings, invitations, declarations of territory. To their prey, the sound is terror. To their kin, it is reassurance. To the desert itself, it is proof that life persists. Within Area 51's borders, the coyote has no regard for fences or secrecy. It roams freely, navigating the same paths its ancestors walked long before radars scanned the skies. Where humans see only an empty desert guarding secrets of steel and shadow, the coyote sees a home rich with possibility, a stage where cunning ensures survival. For in the harsh balance of predator and prey, it is not always the strongest who endure, but the cleverest. And no creature of this wilderness embodies cleverness quite like the coyote, the trickster, the survivor, the eternal voice of the desert night. When dawn breaks over Area 51, the first creatures to stir are not predators, but prey. In the pale light of morning, silhouettes dart across the scrubland, long ears outlined against the rising sun, noses twitching, bodies tense with alertness. These are the jackrabbits and desert cottontails, small herbivores that live each day at the knife's edge of survival. The jackrabbit, despite its name, is no rabbit at all but a hare, built for endurance and speed. Its long legs stretch like coiled springs, capable of launching its body in great, bounding leaps that cover 20 feet in a single stride. Each powerful kick is a weapon against pursuit, each sudden change of direction a chance to confuse the hunter. To watch a jackrabbit run is to see the desert itself in motion, swift, unpredictable, unyielding. The cottontail is smaller, rounder, and far less flamboyant in its defenses. Where the jackrabbit thrives in open bursts of speed, the cottontail survives through stealth. It freezes at the faintest sound, blending into brush and shadow, its soft white tail the last glimpse before it vanishes into thickets of creosote. Its strength is silence, stillness, and timing. But in the desert, silence is temporary. Predators stalk relentlessly, and sooner or later the chase begins. A coyote prowls the scrub, its eyes locked on a jackrabbit grazing too far from cover. In a heartbeat, the rabbit senses danger. Ears snap upright, muscles tense, and the desert explodes. Dust flies as the jackrabbit bolts, zigzagging in frantic arcs. The coyote gives chase, each stride devouring the ground, but the hare's leaps are impossible to predict. It darts left then right, cutting across the terrain with dazzling agility. The predator lunges, jaws snapping shut on empty air. At the last second, the jackrabbit veers sharply into rocky ground, where its pursuer falters. The desert claims victory for the hunted. Elsewhere, the cottontail's story is less dramatic, but no less dangerous. A red-tailed hawk circles overhead, eyes scanning the brush below. The rabbit sits frozen, its heartbeat pounding like a drum. To move would mean exposure. To stay still is its only hope. The hawk dives, a feathered missile descending with lethal intent. At the final instant, the cottontail bolts, weaving through a thorny cover too dense for talons to penetrate. The hawk pulls away defeated. For today, the rabbit survives. Life for these creatures is a daily wager. They are the hunted, yet they shape the very behavior of the hunters. Coyotes sharpen their endurance against the jackrabbit's speed. Hawks refine their precision against the cottontail's evasions. In this relentless desert arena, the prey are not passive victims. They are challengers, forcing predators to adapt, evolve, and grow sharper with every failed attempt. Amid the rocky outcrops that rise like fortresses above Area 51, another kind of drama unfolds, one not hidden in shadows, but displayed boldly against the desert sky. Here, on cliffs that seem carved for the impossible, lives the desert bighorn sheep, a creature that defies gravity as much as it defies the odds of survival. From a distance, they appear as moving shadows on stone, their tawny coats blending seamlessly with the cliffs. But up close, the miracle of their movement becomes clear. Hooves no larger than a silver dollar grip razor-thin ledges, anchoring bodies that can weigh more than 200 pounds. With effortless grace, they ascend vertical slopes where a single misstep means certain death. For the bighorn, the mountain is not an obstacle, it is a sanctuary. Predators may follow on flat ground, but few dare to climb where these animals thrive. Yet safety from predators is not their only challenge. The desert offers little water and even less vegetation. Bighorns roam vast distances across barren ridges in search of nourishment, often surviving for weeks without a drink, drawing moisture instead from the sparse plants they consume. In the fiercest heat of summer, they descend from their lofty perches to hidden springs, precious oases where life briefly gathers in fragile harmony. But the most striking spectacle of the desert bighorn is not its climb, nor its endurance, but its battles. In the height of the mating season, The silence of the cliffs is shattered by thunder, not from the sky, but from skull against skull. Two rams face one another, muscles tense, eyes blazing with determination. They rear back, hooves scraping stone, and then charge. The collision echoes through the canyons, a sound so powerful it can be heard a mile away. Horn crashes against horn, the impact reverberating through bone and earth alike. Yet these rams are built for battle. Their massive spiraled horns, weighing up to 30 pounds, absorb the shock. Time and again they clash, charging, colliding, retreating until one finally falters. Victory is not just dominance, it is the right to pass on strength to the next generation. Despite their ferocity, bighorns are social creatures. Ewes and lambs gather in herds, grazing cautiously across the slopes. Lambs, barely weeks old, follow mothers up perilous cliffs, learning agility before they can truly understand danger. One misplaced step could mean disaster, but instinct drives them, and the mountain accepts no hesitation. Those who survive the cliffs will one day inherit them, beneath the blinding Nevada sun, where shadows are short and the earth cracks with thirst. The desert's smallest citizens scurry across the sands with a mastery that defies their size. These are the kangaroo rats and their rodent kin, the desert's unsung engineers, survivalists, and food chain anchors. To most, they're just tiny creatures darting at night. But in truth, they are architects of an ecosystem, weaving life into an unforgiving land. By day, they vanish. Their presence is betrayed only by faint, pin-sized tracks, leading to burrow entrances carved into the sand. These burrows are more than homes, they're fortresses. Deep tunnels spiral downward, insulated against the desert's lethal heat and biting cold. Kangaroo rats in particular have perfected the art of subterranean living. They emerge only when darkness cloaks the land, using the cover of night to forage and survive. What makes these rodents remarkable is not just their elusiveness, but their ingenuity. Unlike most mammals, kangaroo rats rarely, if ever, drink water. Instead, their bodies wring every last drop of moisture from the seeds they consume. Even their kidneys are evolutionary marvels, concentrating urine so efficiently that they conserve water better than any desert plant. Each leap, each twitching whisker, is a testament to finely tuned survival machinery. And then comes the drama of hunger and fear. In the moonlit stillness, a kangaroo rat ventures from its burrow. It stands upright, balancing on elongated hind legs that resemble miniature springs. With ears swiveling like radar dishes, it listens. The desert at night is never truly silent. Owls float soundlessly overhead. Rattlesnakes lie coiled, blending seamlessly with sand and stone. Coyotes patrol the periphery. For such a small animal, every step is a gamble between feast and fatality. When danger strikes, the kangaroo rat's defense is pure acrobatics. With explosive power, it launches itself into the air, bounding, zigzagging, twisting mid-flight. These evasive maneuvers, honed over millennia, often mean the difference between vanishing into the dark or becoming a midnight meal. Rattlesnakes lunge with lightning speed, but many times they snap at empty air as their quarry somersaults out of reach. Even owls, the masters of silent death, find themselves outmatched by the kangaroo rat's unpredictable leaps. Yet survival is not just about escaping death, it's about securing the future. Each night's mission is one of gathering seeds, nuts, grains carried in their cheek pouches and stored in hidden caches. These caches aren't just insurance for lean times, they're ecological gifts. Seeds forgotten or abandoned sprout into new plants, carpeting the desert floor with life. In this way, the smallest of rodents becomes a gardener of the desert, scattering the promise of tomorrow across a harsh and hungry land. Not all rodents share the kangaroo rat's grace. Desert wood rats, pack rats, and pocket mice live parallel lives, each with its own survival story. Pack rats, for instance, construct elaborate nests, mounds of sticks and debris laced with cactus spines for protection. Their homes are time capsules of desert history, layered with centuries of collected material. Within these structures, life hums in miniature, a fortress against the predators that stalk the sands. When the desert sun falls and shadows stretch long, a new predator emerges from the stillness, silent, patient, and lethal. Coiled in the dust, blending so perfectly with sand and stone that even the sharpest eyes might overlook it, the rattlesnake waits. To some, it is a monster. To others, it is the desert's ultimate survivor, honed by millions of years of evolution into a weapon of precision. Unlike the coyote, who relies on stamina, or the owl, who depends on stealth from the air, the rattlesnake's strategy is one of perfect stillness. It doesn't chase. It doesn't waste energy. Instead, it becomes part of the landscape, an ambush artist whose weapon lies in speed and venom. At the heart of its predatory edge are the heat-sensing pits that line its face, natural infrared detectors. With these, the snake perceives the faint warmth radiating from a rodent's body, even in the pitch-black desert night. Where humans see only darkness, the rattlesnake sees glowing trails of life. A kangaroo rat darts from its burrow, pausing to sniff at the sand. The rattlesnake senses its presence instantly. The coil tightens, muscles contract, storing power like a compressed spring. Then, in less than the blink of an eye, the strike is launched, faster than human reflexes could ever hope to match. Twin fangs sink deep, delivering a dose of venom that paralyzes and begins digesting the prey before it even stops breathing. For the rattlesnake, efficiency is survival. Its venom is more than a weapon. It is chemistry perfected. Each drop carries enzymes that break down tissue, ensuring that the snake can swallow its meal whole without wasting precious energy tearing it apart. And with one strike, a meal may sustain it for weeks. In a desert where food is never guaranteed, this ability to wait, strike, and conserve is the ultimate advantage. Yet for all its fearsome reputation, the rattlesnake is not a reckless killer. Its rattle, the iconic buzz that has earned it both respect and terror, is not meant to lure prey, but to warn larger animals away. It is a defense, a last resort. The snake would rather retreat than waste venom on a threat it cannot eat. But when cornered, that dry, electrifying rattle slices through the desert air like a warning from the earth itself. Few sounds inspire such primal fear. Even predators must be wary. Coyotes and hawks, though daring, think twice before tangling with a coiled rattler. The balance of risk and reward is ever present in this desert chess match. Still, the rattlesnake holds its ground as one of the desert's most respected hunters, a reminder that power can come not from size, but from patience, precision, and lethal design. The horned lizard, flat, spiny, and almost immobile, has perfected deception as a defense. At first glance, it is indistinguishable from the desert floor, its camouflage a shield against predators. But when threatened, the horned lizard has a weapon unlike any other. It can squirt blood from its eyes, a startling and pungent surprise that leaves attackers reeling. Coyotes, snakes, even curious birds quickly learn that the desert may be small, but danger can come in the most unexpected forms. Beyond these dramatic tactics, All desert lizards share a remarkable ability to survive extreme conditions. Their bodies absorb heat by day and conserve it at night, allowing them to thrive where many others would perish. From skittering across sand to basking on sun-warmed rocks, their every movement is an adaptation to the harsh environment. Some, like side-blotched lizards, display intricate social behaviors, engaging in territorial disputes, courtship displays, and strategic retreats that echo the age-old rules of survival written into the desert itself. Watching these lizards is like witnessing a silent ballet. One moment, a collared lizard sprints across a flat expanse, body low, eyes sharp, tail flicking. The next, a horned lizard remains motionless, blending into shadows, unyielding to the world around it. Each predator-prey interaction, each subtle shift in posture, tells a story of strategy and instinct honed over millennia. The desert, though unforgiving, is a laboratory of evolution, and its lizards are among its most exceptional experiments. Even the smallest creatures, like geckos and whiptails, play vital roles in the ecosystem, controlling insect populations, serving as prey for hawks and snakes, and demonstrating resilience in the face of heat, scarcity, and predation. The desert is a realm of extremes, scorching heat by day, freezing cold by night, endless stretches of sand and rock. Life here is often measured in survival against the odds. Yet, when the rare desert rain falls, even the driest land can bloom with ephemeral abundance, and with it, some of the desert's most unlikely residents emerge: amphibians. For most creatures, water is an occasional luxury. For desert amphibians, it is life itself, a fleeting opportunity that can appear and vanish within days. In shallow temporary pools, toads and spadefoot frogs stir from months of dormancy. Beneath the sun-hardened soil, they have waited, encased in protective burrows, their bodies slowed to a near-suspended animation. With the first drops of rain, a biological clock awakens, and the desert transforms. Spadefoot toads, small and rotund, are among the first to emerge. Their mottled skin blends perfectly with the wet, darkened sand. Yet movement is urgent, almost frantic. Within hours, they hop and burrow through the softened earth, digging depressions and calling to attract mates. Their calls, low and vibrating, resonate across the temporary pools, creating a chorus that celebrates the fleeting window of survival. In these moments, the desert is alive with song, a symphony that lasts only until the water recedes. Nearby, tiny desert tree frogs cling to wet rocks and vegetation. Their green and brown skin shimmers in the fleeting sunlight as they hunt insects stirred by the moisture. Each leap is a precise calculation. One misjudged motion could place them in the path of a hungry predator, or leave them stranded as the pool evaporates. Even the smallest of these amphibians demonstrate extraordinary resilience, emerging in the most hostile environment to seize the briefest opportunities for reproduction and nourishment. Life in these pools is a race against time. Tadpoles hatch within days, developing at a breakneck pace to reach maturity before the desert reclaims the water. Predators, ranging from birds to insects, circle, capitalizing on the sudden abundance. For the amphibians, every movement, every bite, every call is a calculated gamble. The rain that brings life also signals urgency, and only the most adaptive survive. These ephemeral pools, scattered like jewels across the arid landscape, reveal a secret side of Area 51's wilderness. Though the desert seems static, lifeless, and secretive, it harbors moments of sudden, explosive vitality. Amphibians, long thought incompatible with this harsh terrain, thrive here against all odds. Above the arid plains, rocky cliffs, and hidden springs of Area 51, a different kind of life rules. A kingdom of wings and talons, where silence is deadly and the sky is a hunting ground. Here soar the raptors, hawks, eagles, and owls, aerial predators whose eyes pierce the desert from hundreds of feet above, whose shadow alone can send prey into panic. During the day, red-tailed hawks patrol the sun-scorched expanses with effortless grace. Wings spread wide, they ride thermals that spiral above rocky ridges, scanning the ground for the faintest movement. Every twitch of a kangaroo rat, every scuttle of a lizard, is captured in the sharp, golden gaze of these masters of flight. When a target is found, the hawk folds its wings, diving with astonishing speed. In an instant, talons extend. a precise, deadly strike that leaves little chance for escape. Golden eagles, larger and more imposing, command the high skies with authority. They patrol cliff edges where desert bighorn sheep traverse impossible ledges. From above, they calculate the fall of each step, the vulnerability of young or weak individuals, and when opportunity presents, descend with a combination of power and elegance, unmatched in the animal kingdom. The desert may seem vast and empty from the ground, but from the sky every movement, every struggle is visible, every weakness exploitable. As night falls, the hunters change. It harbors moments of sudden, explosive vitality. Amphibians, long thought incompatible with this harsh terrain, thrive here against all odds. Above the arid plains, rocky cliffs, and hidden springs of Area 51, a different kind of life rules. A kingdom of wings and talons, where silence is deadly and the sky is a hunting ground. Here soar the raptors, hawks, eagles, and owls, aerial predators whose eyes pierce the desert from hundreds of feet above, whose shadow alone can send prey into panic. During the day, red-tailed hawks patrol the sun-scorched expanses with effortless grace. Wings spread wide, they ride thermals that spiral above rocky ridges, scanning the ground for the faintest movement. Every twitch of a kangaroo rat, every scuttle of a lizard, is captured in the sharp, golden gaze of these masters of flight. When a target is found, the hawk folds its wings, diving with astonishing speed. In an instant, talons extend, a precise, deadly strike that leaves little chance for escape. Golden eagles, larger and more imposing, command the high skies with authority. They patrol cliff edges where desert bighorn sheep traverse impossible ledges. From above, they calculate the fall of each step, the vulnerability of young or weak individuals, and when opportunity presents, descend with a combination of power and elegance, unmatched in the animal kingdom. The desert may seem vast and empty from the ground, but from the sky every movement, every struggle is visible, every weakness exploitable. As night falls, the hunters change. Great horned owls and barn owls take flight, their wings virtually silent against the cooling desert air. Hunting by stealth rather than speed, they glide over basins and scrublands, ears tuned to the slightest rustle, eyes capturing the dimmest shimmer of movement. Even the nimblest kangaroo rat, the fastest jackrabbit, cannot fully escape the attentiveness of these nocturnal predators. A soft hoot, a shadow cast over the sand, and the balance of life shifts once more. Raptors are not merely hunters, they are regulators of the desert ecosystem. By culling the weak, they keep prey populations in check, indirectly shaping vegetation and insect distribution. Their nests, often perched precariously atop cliffs or hidden among crevices, become microhabitats for other creatures. Even in a place like Area 51, shrouded in human secrecy, these birds maintain dominion, patrolling skies that are as much theirs as the land below. Watching a raptor in action is to witness precision evolved over millennia. Each dive, each swoop, each silent glide is choreographed for survival. Below, prey animals adjust their behavior, freezing, fleeing, hiding, their instincts sharpened by these aerial hunters. In this desert, life is a constant dance between those who run on the ground and those who rule from above. One of the desert's most cunning residents rules not by strength, but by intellect, the raven. Jet black, sleek, and impossibly clever, these birds are more than scavengers. They are problem solvers, engineers, and opportunists, thriving where others rely on instinct alone. Ravens patrol the desert like shadowed sentinels, wings cutting silently through thermals, eyes scanning both the earth below and the structures humans have left behind. Unlike hawks or eagles, they do not rely solely on speed or talons. Their power lies in cognition. A raven can solve complex problems, manipulate objects, and even use tools to access food. Rocks are dropped onto eggs to crack them open. Sticks are fashioned to extract insects from crevices. In a landscape of scarcity, intelligence is survival, and the raven has it in abundance. The desert provides opportunities and dangers in equal measure, and ravens exploit both. While coyotes stalk rodents and hawks patrol the skies, ravens descend on carrion, picking clean the remains of creatures that have failed to survive. They do not merely scavenge, they anticipate. Observing coyote hunts from above, a raven may swoop down at the perfect moment, claiming scraps while the predator is distracted. Their strategies are subtle, adaptive, and endlessly inventive. Interactions with human structures reveal another side of their ingenuity. From abandoned military installations to hidden fences and debris, ravens find shelter, vantage points, and food. They cache items, collect shiny objects, and investigate unfamiliar mechanisms, learning to navigate human-made obstacles as readily as the natural world. In this sense, they are as much urban survivors as desert dwellers, bridging two worlds with curiosity and intelligence. Social behavior among ravens is equally impressive. They are not solitary scavengers, but highly social birds. Families, flocks, and temporary alliances communicate through complex calls, signals, and displays. Young birds observe adults, learning techniques that allow them to navigate both predator encounters and environmental challenges. In the harsh desert, these lessons can mean the difference between survival and death. Yet despite their adaptability, ravens are not invincible. They face predators, harsh weather, and scarcity. But where others rely purely on instinct, ravens rely on thought, experimentation, and memory. Each day they assess risks, seize opportunities, and adapt to shifting circumstances, a living testament to intelligence as a tool of survival. Over the hidden expanses of Area 51, their black silhouettes twist and turn against the pale desert sky. Each dive, each caw, each deliberate investigation of the terrain below demonstrates not only survival, but mastery of their environment. Ravens are more than birds. They are desert strategists, opportunists, and thinkers, shaping and responding to the ecosystem with a level of ingenuity that leaves predators, prey, and humans alike in awe. Even in the harsh, secretive expanse of Area 51, life is not entirely fixed. Twice a year, the desert skies are pierced by the passage of travelers, migratory birds, drawn to the hidden water sources scattered across the arid landscape. Their arrival is sudden, ephemeral, and vital, a fleeting pulse of color and sound in a land dominated by earth tones and silence. As dawn breaks over rocky ridges, the faint hum of wings grows louder. Sandpipers, plovers, and warblers descend from distant mountains, navigating thousands of miles with instinctual precision. Each drop of rainwater collected in shallow pools or springs becomes a lifeline, a temporary oasis where survival is possible. To the desert's resident creatures, these visitors are both an opportunity and competition. The water is shared, but tensions flare when the pools are shallow and predators lurk nearby. Migratory birds display an astonishing blend of endurance and vulnerability. They pause only briefly, refueling their bodies for the next leg of an arduous journey. While drinking or foraging, they remain alert, vigilant against snakes, hawks, and coyotes. The dance is delicate. A sandpiper pecks at the water's edge while a raven circles above. A red-tailed hawk shadows the far horizon, and desert tortoises linger quietly, undisturbed but present. Each species occupies its niche, temporarily intertwined by the rarity of life-giving water. The spectacle is breathtaking. Flocks wheel and twist in coordinated patterns, their flight a choreography of instinct honed over millennia. Wings flash sunlight, creating fleeting mosaics of white, gold, and black. Their calls, chirps, whistles, and trills echo briefly across dry basins, adding a vibrant soundtrack to the otherwise hushed desert. Predators watch silently from perches and shadows, knowing that even a brief lapse in vigilance could provide a meal. Migratory birds are not merely transient visitors. They are ecosystem engineers. Their droppings enrich soils, their movement spreads seeds, and their presence sustains predators. For the desert, these fleeting guests connect distant biomes, carrying nutrients, energy, and life across thousands of miles. In their brief stops, they reshape the desert ecosystem, leaving a mark invisible to most but essential to the balance of life. Even the most resilient resident species, coyotes, lizards, or jackrabbits, pause to observe, adapt, and interact. Predators may exploit their presence, but the birds themselves demonstrate extraordinary survival skills, acute vision, rapid flight, and split-second decision-making that allow them to drink, feed, and flee in perfect synchrony. When the sun dips low over the jagged cliffs and sandy plains of Area 51, a unique silhouette begins to stir. The roadrunner, long-legged, sleek, and unmistakably bold, emerges as a creature perfectly adapted to the desert's extremes. Unlike the predators that stalk the ground or soar above, the roadrunner is a terrestrial marvel, combining speed, cunning, and personality in equal measure. With legs built for rapid pursuit, the roadrunner can reach speeds of up to 20 miles per hour, sprinting across desert flats with astonishing agility. Its long tail acts as a rudder, balancing sudden turns and abrupt stops as it chases prey. In the open, flat desert, its movements are a blur, a streak of brown and white darting among sagebrush and creosote. To watch one in motion is to see the desert itself in motion, nimble, unpredictable, alive. Roadrunners are opportunistic hunters. They feed on insects, lizards, small mammals, and even birds. But it is their relationship with snakes that has earned them a legendary reputation. Armed with sharp beaks and quick reflexes, they hunt with precision and audacity. A rattlesnake may coil and strike, relying on venom and camouflage, but the roadrunner's speed and strategy often turn the tables. It darts close, strikes the snake's head repeatedly, and retreats in a series of calculated maneuvers until the predator is subdued. These confrontations are tense, rapid, and a testament to the bird's intelligence and courage. Yet the roadrunner's skill extends beyond hunting. It is fiercely territorial, vocal, and unmistakably expressive. Males perform elaborate courtship displays, bowing, hopping, and calling to attract females, while both sexes fiercely guard nesting sites against intruders. Their personalities shine even in the harsh desert, a reminder that life here is not only survival, it is behavior, strategy, and social interaction. The desert is full of dangers, but the roadrunner thrives by combining instinct with observation. It watches the movements of predators, anticipates threats, and adapts its hunting methods based on terrain and prey. Even the smallest misstep can mean disaster, yet these birds navigate the desert with confidence, a combination of speed, agility, and intelligence ensuring survival where slower creatures falter. Roadrunners are more than just hunters, they are emblematic of the desert's rhythm. Day after day, they chase, feed, call, and evade danger, threading their way through the ecosystem with unmatched efficiency. Their presence supports the food chain, regulating populations of insects and small reptiles, while demonstrating that even the most arid, challenging landscapes are full of intricate interactions and dynamic life. As the desert sun dips below the jagged horizon of Area 51, a shadowed world awakens, one that moves in whispers, silences, and the almost imperceptible shiver of legs on sand. The scorpions and tarantulas of this hidden wilderness emerge, masters of the night, predators whose strategies are measured not in haste, but in patience and precision. Scorpions, with their segmented tails arched like scimitars, glide over the desert floor, sensing vibrations that reveal the approach of prey or predator. Each step is deliberate, every movement designed to conserve energy in the still, dry air. Their venom, potent and precise, delivers a paralyzing strike to insects and small vertebrates, allowing them to feed without struggle. Under ultraviolet light, their bodies glow with an eerie blue, a haunting reminder of the desert's hidden life. Tarantulas, massive and covered in coarse hair, occupy burrows hidden beneath rocks and scrub. By day, they remain underground, safe from the blistering heat. By night, they prowl the sand in search of crickets, beetles, and smaller arthropods. Each step is silent, each motion calculated. When prey ventures too close, the tarantula strikes with slow-motion precision, fangs sinking in to inject venom that immobilizes, digesting the meal before consumption. Their movements are methodical, almost ritualistic, demonstrating the patience required to survive where speed alone is insufficient. Despite their fearsome appearance, scorpions and tarantulas are not reckless hunters. Ambush is their tool, and deception is their armor. Scorpions remain perfectly still until vibrations signal opportunity. Tarantulas wait near burrow entrances, their hairy legs detecting the subtlest movements in the sand. Then, in a sudden fluid strike, the desert's tiny prey is seized. Each successful hunt is the culmination of patience, instinct, and evolutionary perfection. The desert night is alive with these interactions. Coyotes may roam, owls may swoop overhead, and yet scorpions and tarantulas persist in their hidden realm. They are reminders that life in Area 51 does not always demand speed or flamboyance. Sometimes it demands stillness, calculation, and timing down to a heartbeat. Their survival strategies ripple across the ecosystem, influencing the populations of insects, rodents, and even birds that share this harsh terrain. Watching these predators is like observing a slow, suspenseful ballet. Each movement, each twitch of a leg or flick of a stinger, is part of a choreography perfected over millennia. Even in the desert's most unforgiving reaches, these small nocturnal hunters demonstrate the intricate balance of predator and prey, showing that life can thrive in shadows, silence, and the slow, deliberate rhythm of night. Beneath the sun-scorched sands of Area 51, where heat ripples dance across barren expanses, life persists not only in grand gestures, but in intricate hidden societies. Ant colonies and desert beetles, though tiny and often overlooked, play crucial roles in shaping the ecosystem. Their survival strategies a testament to ingenuity and resilience. Ants are architects, engineers, and tireless workers. Colonies burrow deep into the earth, forming labyrinths of tunnels and chambers that regulate temperature, humidity, and safety. These subterranean cities can house thousands, each individual assigned tasks with remarkable precision. Workers forage tirelessly, navigating the harsh terrain in search of seeds, dead insects, and plant material, transporting them back to the colony with astonishing efficiency. Soldiers patrol the entrances, defending against intruders, while queens remain safely ensconced, ensuring the colony's continuity. Desert beetles, on the other hand, are masters of survival in a land defined by scarcity. Some species, such as the Namib beetle's distant relatives in North American deserts, have evolved an extraordinary method of water collection. They harvest moisture directly from the air, condensing dew on their ridged shells and funneling it toward their mouths. In a place where rainfall is rare and ephemeral, this adaptation allows beetles to thrive where others might perish. Each morning, as the first rays of sunlight warm the sand, these beetles can be seen executing precise routines, tilting their bodies, angling their shells, and collecting life-sustaining droplets with mechanical precision. Interactions between ants and beetles illustrate the desert's intricate web of life. Ants, dominant in numbers and organization, often compete for food, but also serve as indirect gardeners, distributing seeds, aerating soil, and influencing plant growth. Beetles, meanwhile, regulate micro-insect populations, prevent overgrowth of certain plants, and become prey for larger predators such as lizards, birds, and small mammals. Together, these small creatures maintain balance, ensuring that even the most minute elements of the ecosystem function in harmony. The desert's survival strategies are not limited to hunting or foraging. They extend into cooperation, competition, and environmental mastery. Ants communicate with chemical signals, leaving pheromone trails that guide foragers to food and warn of danger. Beetles exploit subtle environmental cues, finding moisture in places humans might overlook. Every action is purposeful, every adaptation a finely tuned response to the harsh realities of the desert. In the grand narrative of Area 51, ants and beetles may seem insignificant, yet they are essential. Their colonies and solitary routines reveal a hidden complexity that sustains larger predators, herbivores, and even migratory visitors. The desert, harsh and unyielding, depends on these microcosms of life, tiny engineers that construct, regulate, and maintain the fragile balance of survival. Even in a landscape often associated with secrecy and emptiness, these small creatures demonstrate that intelligence, adaptation, and cooperation can flourish anywhere. Butterflies, bees, and other pollinators transform the harsh landscape, their tiny bodies carrying life on wings, antennae, and legs, orchestrating the delicate dance that sustains the desert's flora. Butterflies, their wings painted in vibrant yellows, oranges, and iridescent blues, flit across desert scrub and hidden springs. Each landing is deliberate, a careful sip from a nectar-laden bloom, each movement a role in an intricate cycle. For the desert blooms, wildflowers that emerge after rare rains, cacti flowers that open only at specific times, these pollinators are essential. Without them, the fleeting beauty of the desert would fade unnoticed, and countless plant species would struggle to reproduce. Bees, smaller but no less vital, hum with purpose as they move from flower to flower. Solitary and social species alike exhibit astonishing efficiency, transferring pollen with precision and ensuring genetic diversity across fragile ecosystems. Their flights are deliberate arcs, zigzagging between blooms in a choreography dictated by survival and instinct. Even in extreme heat, their persistence is unwavering. Nectar fuels their energy, pollen fuels the desert's future. Pollinators create a rhythm in the desert, invisible yet omnipresent. Their work is not dramatic or ferocious, but it is indispensable. A single bee visiting a hidden creosote flower may ensure the next generation of blossoms. A butterfly visiting a cactus bloom may trigger a chain reaction that sustains birds, lizards, and small mammals that rely on fruit or seeds. The desert's resilience, its ability to endure heat, drought, and isolation, is intimately linked to these tiny creatures. Their presence also brings unexpected beauty. Against the monotone sands and rocky ridges, butterflies and bees inject flashes of movement and color, a visual reminder that even in extreme environments, life is vibrant, playful, and astonishingly adaptive. Watching a pollinator hover over a bloom is to witness survival at its most elegant, a combination of instinct, timing, and precision that benefits the entire ecosystem. Predators, too, take note. Birds, spiders, and lizards watch these tiny visitors, understanding that even the smallest bodies can sustain life in this unforgiving landscape. The interactions are subtle but essential, an ongoing conversation between plant, pollinator, and predator that maintains the balance of the desert's web of life. Their fleeting flights and sudden bursts of color reveal hidden abundance, the delicate mechanics of survival, and the importance of cooperation between species. Amid the barren expanses of Area 51, where sand, rock, and sun dominate the landscape, life persists not only in movement, but in stillness. Desert flora, Joshua trees, creosote bushes, yuccas, and other hardy plants stand as silent sentinels, sculpting the ecosystem with roots, shade, and resilience. Though seemingly static, these plants are the lifeblood of the desert, sustaining animals, pollinators, and even microhabitats hidden beneath their branches. The Joshua tree, with its twisted limbs and spiky leaves, rises from the sand like a sentinel from another world. Its silhouette casts elongated shadows at dawn and dusk, creating small microclimates where shade-loving insects and reptiles find relief from the relentless sun. Each tree stores water in its fibrous trunk and leaves, surviving years without rainfall. Its flowers, delicate yet striking, attract pollinators, moths,
bees and butterflies, ensuring the continuation of life in this harsh terrain. Creosote bushes, ubiquitous across the desert flats, form dense clusters that provide shelter and sustenance. Their resinous leaves release a distinctive aroma after rare rains, a signal of vitality in an otherwise parched landscape. Small mammals and insects find refuge among their tangled roots and branches, while birds perch atop them, surveying the expanse for movement below. Creosote bushes also play a subtle role in soil conservation, trapping wind-blown sand and creating pockets of stability in a shifting environment. Yuccas, with their sharp-tipped leaves and towering flower spikes, are another marvel of desert adaptation. They store water in their fleshy cores and rely on night-pollinating moths to reproduce, demonstrating a synchronized dance between flora and fauna. Each bloom is ephemeral, yet it triggers an explosion of activity, from pollinators to small mammals drawn to the nectar. Yuccas also serve as landmarks and microhabitats, providing shade and nesting opportunities in a landscape where every shelter is precious. The desert flora of Area 51 is not merely ornamental. It is functional, resilient, and essential. These plants regulate temperature, provide food and shelter, and maintain the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Their roots stabilize soil, their leaves support life, and their blooms create transient oases that sustain generations of creatures. From the smallest beetle collecting dew to the soaring hawk watching from above, the desert flora underpins the survival of every species that calls this landscape home. Even in the harshest stretches, where sand stretches unbroken and sunlight blazes without mercy, desert plants reveal life's ingenuity. They are the quiet architects of survival, the keepers of shade, water, and food, and the anchors around which the desert's hidden communities revolve. In the vast, arid stretches of Area 51, life often appears sparse and unforgiving. Yet, when rare desert rains arrive, the landscape transforms in a sudden, almost magical spectacle. Superblooms that carpet the sands with color, scent, and life. These fleeting bursts of flora are not merely beautiful. They are a lifeline, feeding and sustaining the entire ecosystem in a matter of days. At first, the desert floor seems untouched, dry, cracked, and barren. Then, tiny buds emerge, pushing through the parched soil, responding to the moisture that transforms their environment. Within hours, wildflowers unfurl in a riot of colors: golden poppies, violet phacelias, scarlet primroses, and white desert lilies. The effect is breathtaking, a vivid contrast against the monotone desert, creating temporary meadows that teem with activity.
Pollinators arrive immediately. Bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds dart between blooms, transferring pollen, feeding, and sustaining the reproductive cycle of the plants. Small mammals scuttle through the undergrowth, nibbling on leaves and seeds, while lizards bask on warm rocks nearby, watching for insects drawn to the floral frenzy. Even larger herbivores, such as jackrabbits and desert tortoises, take advantage of the sudden abundance, grazing and replenishing energy reserves depleted during the dry months. Superblooms are a catalyst for the desert's food chain. Raptors circle above, capitalizing on the increase in small mammals and insects, while scavengers such as ravens observe from perches, waiting for opportunities. Ant colonies work tirelessly, collecting seeds that will sustain their colonies long after the blooms fade. Each species, from the tiniest beetle to the most majestic hawk, benefits from this temporary abundance, illustrating the delicate, interconnected rhythm of desert life. The blooms are also a testament to the resilience and timing of life in extreme environments. Plants remain dormant for months, sometimes years, conserving energy and waiting for the rare conditions that allow reproduction. When rain arrives, their growth is explosive, a rapid celebration of life in a place where every drop of water is precious. For the desert ecosystem, superblooms are both sustenance and spectacle, a fleeting period of generosity that ensures the survival of multiple species. Even as the blooms fade and the desert returns to its muted palette, their impact lingers. Seeds carried by wind, insects and animals guarantee the next generation of flowers, while herbivores and predators alike have stored energy for survival. Superblooms are ephemeral yet transformative, moments of extraordinary vitality in a land defined by scarcity, heat, and harshness. In the hidden expanses of Area 51, life thrives not only through individual strength or cunning, but through delicate partnerships, invisible threads binding plants and animals in survival's intricate dance. Here, symbiotic relationships, mutualistic, commensal, and sometimes parasitic, define the desert's rhythm, ensuring that each species endures in a harsh, unforgiving environment. Consider the yucca plant and its night-pollinating moth. The yucca's creamy flowers open after sunset, releasing a scent that lures the moth. In return for the nectar, the moth deposits pollen, ensuring the plant's reproduction. Without this precise interaction, neither could thrive. It is a silent pact of survival, evolved over millennia, where life's continuity depends on trust, timing, and cooperation. Desert ants and plants display a similar alliance. Some plants provide nectar or edible seeds, attracting ants that, in turn, protect them from herbivorous insects. These ants also disperse seeds, planting them in nutrient-rich soil and subtly shaping the distribution of vegetation. Tiny yet tireless, these insects act as gardeners, engineers, and protectors, ensuring the plant community flourishes even under extreme conditions. Predators and prey sometimes form unexpected relationships as well. Roadrunners hunt insects stirred by ant colonies, while the ants benefit from the roadrunners disturbing soil, making hidden prey accessible. Kangaroo rats cache seeds that later sprout into plants, inadvertently sustaining future generations. Even scorpions and tarantulas contribute indirectly, controlling insect populations that might otherwise overwhelm certain plant species. Each action, each hunt, each movement maintains the equilibrium of the desert ecosystem. Ravens too demonstrate opportunistic symbiosis with the environment. By scavenging, they prevent disease and accelerate decomposition, enriching soil for plants. They also interact with human structures, sometimes unintentionally assisting other animals in accessing food or shelter. In every corner of the desert, life is interwoven, threads of dependence linking the largest bighorn sheep to the smallest beetle. Seasonal blooms exemplify these partnerships on a grand scale. Pollinators, herbivores, and predators all converge, each species benefiting from the fleeting abundance. Water sources attract migratory birds, whose droppings fertilize the soil, supporting new plant growth. Predators regulate herbivore populations, preventing overgrazing, while micro-insects sustain the plants through pollination and seed dispersal. The desert is a network, each participant a vital node in a complex web of interdependence. Life here is not merely about individual survival. It is a cooperative ballet, choreographed by evolution, patience, and necessity. The desert, often imagined as barren or lifeless, reveals itself as a living tapestry, where each species, from the smallest ant to the soaring raptor, contributes to a delicate, enduring harmony. As darkness descends upon Area 51, the desert transforms. Shadows stretch across rocky outcrops, wind whispers through creosote bushes, and the nocturnal chorus begins. Among the most enigmatic residents are the owls, silent hunters, whose presence, combined with the desert's stillness and mystery, may have sparked the legends of extraterrestrial life that swirl around this secretive landscape. Great horned owls, with eyes like molten gold, emerge from hidden perches atop cliffs and Joshua trees. Their wings glide soundlessly through the cool night air, talons poised for unsuspecting prey. They hunt by stealth and patience, their movements almost imperceptible, yet every strike is precise, every descent deliberate. Barn owls, with their ghostly white faces, navigate by hearing alone, tracking rodents and insects that scurry beneath the moonlight. In this muted theater of predation, the desert's nocturnal life becomes a choreography of shadows, movement, and unseen tension. The combination of sound and silence, of sudden movement and eerie stillness, can appear otherworldly to a human observer. A flutter in the darkness, a sharp screech echoing across the basin, or the sudden glint of an owl's eye in the pale moonlight can ignite imagination. For those wandering near the desert's fringes, unfamiliar with nocturnal wildlife, these glimpses could easily be interpreted as something beyond the natural world. The owl's precision, their silent flight, and the desert's haunting atmosphere converge to create illusions that are ripe for myth-making. Rodents, foxes, and bats add to this nocturnal tapestry. The rustle of a kangaroo rat's movement, the soft patter of a fox's paws, and the fluttering of bat wings all combine to create a symphony of subtle sounds. The desert's interplay of light and shadow, magnified by the vast openness and sparse human presence, can transform ordinary wildlife into apparitions of unknown origin. Each creature, in pursuit of survival, contributes inadvertently to the mystique of Area 51. Even the owl's hunting strategies play into these narratives. Their ability to swoop from unseen perches and vanish without trace, coupled with the desert's natural mirages and shifting sands, adds a surreal quality to the landscape. The predatory efficiency of these nocturnal animals, precision, silence, and sudden appearances creates experiences that are not easily reconciled with ordinary explanation. It is little wonder that such a setting has inspired stories of mysterious lights, shadowed figures, and unexplained phenomena. In the desert night of Area 51, life continues in a delicate balance, oblivious to human imagination. Yet it is precisely this nocturnal activity, the owl's silent glides, the flicker of shadows, the unseen stirrings of prey, that has fueled the imagination of generations. Nature here is at once tangible and ethereal, grounding the ecosystem while inspiring the myths that surround one of the most secretive corners of the world. Beneath the blistering sun and among the rocky outcrops of Area 51, life thrives in forms both ordinary and astonishingly strange. Here, the desert harbors creatures rarely seen elsewhere. Unknown insects and peculiar arthropods whose bizarre appearances and elusive habits have earned them the title of the desert's hidden enigmas. These insects are masters of disguise and survival. Some sport iridescent exoskeletons that shimmer like liquid metal in the harsh sunlight, reflecting patterns that camouflage them against sand, stone, or scrub. Others boast exaggerated appendages, spiny legs, elongated antennae, or translucent wings that serve purposes only the desert's selective pressures can explain. Many species have been documented only in this remote region, surviving in niches created by salt flats, ephemeral pools, or shadowed rock crevices. Night brings an entirely new cast of characters. Luminescent beetles flicker faintly in the darkness, their glow attracting mates while confusing predators. Tiny wingless insects scuttle with astonishing speed, their movements imperceptible to human eyes, but critical to the desert's ecological balance. Predators, from small lizards to nocturnal birds, have evolved alongside these insects, developing precise hunting strategies to capitalize on the desert's secret bounty. Interactions with plants further demonstrate the uniqueness of these species. Some insects serve as specialized pollinators for rare desert blooms, ensuring the reproduction of flowers that open for mere hours after rain. Others are seed dispersers, tunneling beneath the soil to bury plant matter, inadvertently shaping the distribution of vegetation. The desert's food web, delicate and complex, relies on these small, often invisible actors as much as on coyotes, hawks, or bighorn sheep. Observation of these insects requires patience, keen eyes, and often the aid of light at night. Entomologists visiting the region report behaviors both fascinating and perplexing. Synchronized migrations across small sand dunes, intricate courtship dances, and highly specialized feeding mechanisms. Each discovery hints at evolutionary innovations unique to this remote and isolated ecosystem, where adaptation is both necessity and art. Even in their tiny forms, these insects contribute to the desert's mythology. Their strange shapes, rapid movements, and occasional iridescent glow have sparked wonder and speculation for decades. For casual observers, the desert floor becomes a theater of miniature mysteries, where ordinary survival takes on an almost alien quality. Every crack in a rock, every hidden crevice, and every ephemeral puddle may conceal a species seen nowhere else on Earth. Their existence reminds us that even in landscapes dominated by human curiosity, heat, and scarcity, nature thrives in forms both bizarre and beautiful, quietly shaping the ecosystem from the ground up. In the sprawling, secretive expanse of Area 51, survival is dictated not only by the harsh terrain, but by the relentless rhythm of the seasons. Winter chills bite at exposed skin, summer infernos scorch the earth, and fleeting spring rains transform the landscape in moments of abundance. Life here is a cycle of adaptation, resilience, and interconnectedness, where each species, from the tiniest ant to the soaring hawk, plays a vital role in sustaining the desert's fragile balance. Winter is a time of quiet endurance. Snow or frost may dust the desert floor in rare years, and temperatures plunge far below the tolerance of many creatures. Bighorn sheep retreat to sheltered canyons, their thick coats insulating against cold winds. Rodents hunker within deep burrows, conserving energy and maintaining safety from aerial predators. Even when insects enter dormant phases, their metabolism slows to survive the scarcity of warmth and food. The desert, seemingly lifeless during this period, hums with hidden activity beneath the frozen surface. As spring arrives, rain sweeps across the basins and washes through the rocky slopes. Ephemeral pools form, desert blooms erupt, and pollinators arrive in synchrony. This brief but vital period triggers a surge of life. Kangaroo rats forage for seeds, snakes hunt emerging prey, and birds, both resident and migratory, descend to water sources. The desert awakens in a symphony of color, movement, and sound, with each species responding to environmental cues honed over millennia. Summer's inferno tests endurance and ingenuity. Temperatures soar, water becomes scarce, and only the most adapted survive. Desert tortoises retreat to deep burrows, maintaining hydration and avoiding heatstroke. Scorpions and tarantulas emerge only at night, exploiting cooler hours to hunt. Plants from yuccas to creosote bushes employ strategies of water retention and shade creation, ensuring the survival of dependent insects and small mammals. Each species is connected by necessity. A predator relies on prey. A pollinator sustains a flower. A burrow supports both shelter and food storage. Throughout the seasons, life is a continuous web of interdependence. Ant colonies collect seeds, preparing for scarcity. Raptors monitor rodent populations, preventing overgrazing. Superblooms, triggered by rare rainfall, sustain multiple species simultaneously, demonstrating the delicate timing that maintains ecological balance. Even unknown insects, tiny yet specialized, contribute to this intricate cycle, influencing both flora and fauna in ways often unseen. Each season presents challenges. Each adaptation ensures survival, and each creature contributes to the ecosystem's continuity. Winter, spring, summer, and the rare autumns of the desert are not merely passages of time. They are the rhythm of life itself, binding predator to prey, plant to pollinator, and resident to visitor in a continuous dance of survival. Area 51 is shrouded in secrecy, not only because of what may soar above its deserts, but because of the life that thrives below. The restricted access imposed by military boundaries has inadvertently created a sanctuary for wildlife. Predators and prey, from coyotes to kangaroo rats, roam with fewer disturbances. Rare plants and seasonal blooms flourish in relative peace. In this sense, human presence has paradoxically protected the ecosystem, allowing life to persist where urban expansion or tourism might have caused devastation. Yet the story is not purely benevolent. Military activity, ranging from infrastructure development to restricted vehicle movement, places limits on habitats. Noise, occasional chemical contamination, and physical alterations of terrain interfere with natural behavior. Certain species may find their ranges constricted, migration paths altered, or hunting grounds diminished. The desert, while resilient, is sensitive, and even small disruptions ripple across its web of life. This duality illustrates a compelling paradox. Humans, both protectors and intruders, shape the desert's fate. Area 51 remains a realm of survival against extremes, but survival here is influenced as much by human decisions as by sun, sand, and seasonal rains. Perhaps the true secret of Area 51 is not what flies above it, but what survives below, an ecosystem that endures, adapts, and thrives quietly in the shadow of human fascination and oversight. In the stillness between mirages and military boundaries, life continues, tenacious, extraordinary, and resilient. What do you think about the hidden wonders of Area 51? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're craving more extreme wildlife, don't miss our next adventure into the untamed wilderness of Antarctica.